So she wrote to us and she said, I can't remember the last time my husband looked at me like he wanted me. And I don't know if I'm grieving my marriage or if I'm grieving myself. When we heard from this listener of ours, it cracked us open. Something really alive has showed up for us because we know that she's not alone. So that might resonate for you as well. I'm Dr. Willow Brown. I'm here with the one and only, most amazing Leah Piper. We are Sex Reimagined, and we are going to be talking about how you can get back to feeling desirable again today.
Yeah. So this happens to so many of us. We go through chapters in our life where we don't feel desirable or as lovable. We're not getting the attention we really crave. And we want to see if we can't reverse those experiences for each other and for you so that you can be your radiant, delicious self. So let's tune in, turn on, and get our mojo back.
Welcome to the Sex Reimagined podcast, where sex is shame-free and pleasure-forward. Let's get into the show.
Wow. Okay. How to feel desired again.
I was just talking about this the other night. I forget who I was even talking to. I think I was talking to my girlfriend in Turkey. But basically, I was like, man, I used to walk around when I was, younger and in my teens to my 20s. I started getting attention from men very early, probably like 12 years old or something like that. So, because I had the boobs, I developed early, and I just was like, it was constant. It was always in my field. It was always something that was happening. And nowadays, I still think I look good, but I don't get it as much. And she's like, well, you might just be more used to it at this point in life. I was like, no, it's just not happening as much. So I think there's so many different reasons why we start to feel like we've lost our desirability.
Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying. As I'm getting older, I think I've told you I've had students, call me a cougar, call me a MILF, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, I'm flattered, I guess, but I'm not ready for that. Like, oh shit, and yet I am old enough to have adult children. Which is just, I think it's mind-boggling when you haven't had kids.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a steeper shock, maybe. And I have to say that I'm probably hornier and more interested in the opposite sex from a desirability standpoint. I don't remember looking and objectifying men the way I do now at this age. I never did this when I was younger. When they were objectifying me.
I think.
Yeah, probably is. It's a very interesting stage in life because I didn't have, I feel like I'm so much more self-possessed in what I do desire. And like, I appreciate
you mean more
beauty.
Clear?
Yeah. And I appreciate the beauty, the sexual impulse. I see it out in the world. There's an objectification that I'm actually experiencing when I look at beautiful people out there that I was not connected to as a young person and oftentimes had a reaction to when it was directed at me, not knowing what to do with that. And now it's like, now I'm getting older and I'm not getting it as much. And I'm like, I'm ready now. Can I now have everything that I wasn't ready for then?
Right.
Please
objectify me.
Please objectify me. Yes, totally. It's not a dirty thing anymore. It's a dirty thing, and I like it dirty.
Dirty. Yeah. It's good dirty. We like it. Yeah. Well, that's
strange.
That's a very interesting point. I mean, the fact that we're not really emotionally or psychologically ready for that objectification when it is most, pointed toward us. And then later on in life, we're like, yeah, give it to me. And it's like, oh, you got to kind of set it up. You got to set yourself up for success if you're going to get it that way,
And there's a fear that I'm never going to get enough of it again. There's a fear that it's a diminishing return every year, the return diminishes and it diminishes until it's not going to be there anymore. And I have a feeling of there's a threat and there's a fear and there's I'm not ready. I'm no, don't. Can I just stay 40 forever? I just want to stay 40. I just want to be 40. I don't want to get any
You are
older.
40. You're 40. Just say you're 40. You're just 40. Just claim it forever.
40 forever.
I have a, Kari, we interviewed Kari the other day. Her husband doesn't know his age and he's totally not aging.
Yeah, he's a babe. Yeah.
He doesn't know his age.
Yeah.
He has no idea. I think there's something to that. I mean, when we keep tracking what we're doing and what we're going through age-wise, it's like, well, yeah, then we're thinking about it a lot. Anyway, away from age aside,
Yeah.
what are some of the other reasons that people could start to feel like they're not being desired anymore? Definitely long-term relationships seems like one to me.
I think our relationship to our body is a big factor on why or if we feel desired. Like if we just had like a major change and our body changed as a result of that change, sometimes that's having kids, sometimes that's having an injury. And, my husband just had 2 knee replacement surgeries. He's not feeling in his body the way he was prior to that. It's like the muscle deteriorates and you have to get all that back. And so I know he's not loving being in his body, and that takes a toll on how desirable you feel.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
Like
you
I struggled with
when
my
you feel
weight.
sick or taken down or there's extra weight on your body or whatever, you're like, "Ugh, don't even look at me." There's more
Right.
of this like block around it. Like I
Right.
don't have the muscle mass I used to, or I don't have the fitness that I used to. I mean, I think that's
Right.
such a good point. That's why I'm so in love with peptides, because they are really like jumper cables for us getting back to best in our bodies. But that's another episode.
Yeah, sometimes like our skin issues, like I've been going through actually a lot of breakouts lately because I've been using testosterone replacement. We just
Testosterone.
upped my
Click.
yes, and it's too
dosage.
much. I'm like getting weird acne wherever there's like on my scalp and in my hairline and underneath my jaw and underneath behind my ears and
Weird
on my
places.
boob and in my collarbone. And I'm like,
All in
no.
these lymph areas. All in the lymph
Yes.
areas. Yeah. Yeah. So some lymphatic massage would probably be good. But yeah, I mean, I think that, hormones play a big role. Age plays a big role. Being in love with your own body or not plays a big role. And I think there is a way that we can be in love with our bodies no matter what is
Yes.
going on with our weight and our size and our, muscle mass and how we're feeling. I think that there's a way to be in practice of loving the vessel that you live in. And that really is by like finding, all the things that are working with your body that you do love about your body. That kind of stuff
I
we
think
teach in our work in our retreats.
Yeah, I think like people who've been sick, like long COVID and I think it's a feeling, I think it's an issue of vitality.
Yeah.
Can make you feel unattractive
Yeah.
and sluggish and all those things. So I kind of feel like that's one of the places where people get in their slumps or they go through a chapter where they don't feel like their best physical self
Yeah.
is leading the charge.
Yeah.
And we can get really stuck. And then we're oftentimes reaching for things that just make that worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because we want to change our state, right? So that could
Yeah.
be food or alcohol or lack of exercise, television, social media, all the things.
All the things that give you
And then
dopamine.
there's nothing has changed in our appearance, but our partner has drifted away.
Yeah.
We feel the separation of this loving feeling from this partner who we are expected to do all those sexy things with. And it's like, I'm still the same person. Why don't they reach for me anymore? Or why do they keep on avoiding having sex? Why do they keep on coming up with excuses why they're too tired or not right now? And they're shrugging off our bids for connection. And that can really make you feel undesirable. And then there's the dating scene. When you're on these dating apps and maybe you're getting ghosted.
Ghosting definitely makes you feel undesirable. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
you're
it's
not
so
getting the second
common these
date.
days. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
people, it's kind of like the norm now. I hear so many horror stories from my girlfriends who are on dating apps. I think that, yeah, also just, people not really knowing how to communicate, even if they don't ghost, but they just don't know how to communicate. Like, maybe you got together with them a few times, one time, two times, maybe three, and then they don't know how to, in a nice and kind way, be like, hey, I don't think this is for me, and
We're
I
a
don't want to
match.
keep going down the road with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it just could be as simple as that, instead of just like feeling like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So I'm just not going to do or say anything. I think that's where
Right.
ghosting comes from. People just
Totally.
don't have any idea what to say or do. And it could just be so much simpler. So
Well, I
that,
think
that over time will definitely take your sense of desirability down. It takes your confidence levels down. It makes you not want to continue dating. Makes you want to throw in the towel.
or even like you're swiping whatever left or whatever you do to swipe, they're in the right
Yeah.
direction and no one is swiping on you. And you're not even getting the chance to go on the date that doesn't go on a second date because you're
I
not even getting
mean,
the first date.
exactly. There's a lot of men who are stuck in that position, I think, and women, I think
Totally.
both, but I definitely am dealing with those clients more who are like, I'm just like, I don't even know how to communicate or get a date or get there. So it's like, and it's so sad to me too, because it's like these people are so beautiful. They have the most beautiful hearts and the most beautiful souls. And it's just like, they have so much to offer. I'm always like, you are a gift to the world. You need to stand in that power and you need to find that place inside of yourself so that you can share that gift with. I mean, do you know
Hmm.
how many people there are out there who are looking for someone like you? Like, you need to
Yeah.
stand in that power. Okay, so enough about why all the reasons that you might not feel desirable. There's a myriad of them, but what can you do about it?
So I think the first thing you do is you turn it towards yourself and you take inventory, feel into what makes you irresistible. And if you're sitting there and you can't find an answer, you got to sit. You don't get to move until you find at least one thing. Like you
Oh, I
really
like that.
have to go looking,
Good practice.
because we're so self-deprecating. And
Totally.
when we feel undesirable, the inner critic has been talking real loud and has been really, batting us down and putting us down. And we have to start turning towards that voice and going, I'm turning down the volume and I'm turning up a new voice. I'm going to get in touch with a voice that is resonant with my essence, that sees me as lovable and precious and, funny and fun and, all the things that you are.
Yeah.
You need to sit with what makes you irresistible and attractive. Maybe it's the light that comes from your eyes. Maybe it's your incorrigible smile. Maybe it's your sense of humor. Maybe it's your fabulous, thick, beautiful hair. Maybe it's your shiny, bald head. I don't know what it is inside of you, but there is something that is delicious and that is connected to your essence that really glows and has radiance. And you got to I kind of think of it as like you got to get right with God on that. You got to sit in the mirror and you got to actually look for what's good because we put our attention first on what is wrong or what is bad. And that is a one-way road to hell. We got to find a different road to travel down.
Get off that road. Go the
Make a
other
U-turn.
direction. Yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's so true because not only does once you get into that mode of like, finding all the bad things about yourself and all the reasons why. And I think so many of us wake up in the morning and go straight to that. So we're not even really giving our day a chance to like move into self-love. I know I do. I have to take time in the morning to like set my head straight. There's something so powerful of you that are amazing and desirable and lovable and cherishable and just, I love the word that you just used, which was irresistible. Like what makes you
Mm.
irresistible? That's a powerful question to ask yourself. I mean, that's a lot more than like what makes me desirable. It's like what makes me irresistible? Why am I the cat's meow? And why
Yeah.
should my partner be wanting to ravish my body? You know, what is it about my body? And it could be that, you know, it's that you are in your body, that you are in your body, and that you are inhabiting your body with power, with strength, with self-love, with presence, you know, but those things you have to work to get there.
I think the other really big power move that you can make in shifting out of this hopelessness is stop waiting to be chosen. Stop waiting for the thing that's outside of you to validate you, to see you, to want you. You start wanting yourself. Skip the fucking middleman. There's no prince or princess coming to save the day. You're saving the day. And you can totally skip the garbage of needing to be validated by you validating yourself. So again, it comes back to like going, you know, I choose me. I choose to date me. I choose to fall in love with me. I choose to see me as beautiful and irresistible. I love my feet. I love the way I smell. I love my haircut. I love the dimple and when I smile, you know. I even think my little curmudgeon is cute. You know, you got to
What's a
start
curmudgeon?
choosing you. A curmudgeon is exactly what it sounds like.
What is what?
A
I always
curmudgeon
thought a
is like-
curmudgeon was a grouchy person.
It is. It is. It's actually even loving the part of you that's grouchy and hard to
Oh.
love.
It's not
You
a
know?
physical part. It's your little emotional.
No, it's an emotional. Maybe it's one of your little gremlins. Like you also have to love the part of you that you don't see as lovable.
Totally.
Because we'll use our flaws as a block to even notice that anyone's paying attention to us. Sometimes we're so self-centered in our hell that there's a whole room full of people who admire us or who find us attractive, and we can't see them because we're so blinded by our inner critic and all of our flaws that we're missing the boat, and it's right here at the dock.
Totally.
Boy, I'm
Get
filled
on the
with metaphors
boat.
today.
Step up and get your ticket. Would you just say?
Filled with metaphors. We got the boat. We got the highway. We got the car.
Turn that train around. Well, I mean, and here's some practical tips and tools and things that you can actually do is set some space for yourself. Like get a mirror out, a full body mirror, and light some candles and get some oil and put some music on and just start to paint love on your body with your fingertips and that oil and start to paint into the places where you feel more shame and not feeling sexy, and start to bring more love and more attention to your physical body, because your physical body is the vessel for your spiritual self to move through the world in. And so they're two sides of the same coin, and you can definitely change your mental, your psychological, your spiritual state by changing your body. Hence movement and qigong and practices and even exercise, you know, getting out and getting your heart rate up, sweating, getting a sweat on. Like get your sweat on every day, even if it's like 15 minutes of like just a little hopping around, you know, make sure that you're getting some circulation in your body so that you can change your mental state, because that's where the sedentariness is, where we get so stuck in our mental state and so stuck in our bodies.
I think too, like go into nature. If you want to be part of this to be restored, go be in nature. You know, what are the parts of nature that revive you? What are the places that bring you into your body and bring you into your soul? I feel like sometimes this particular area of pain and suffering is connected to like a soul crisis. It's like this thing of separation, and we want to find unification. And so if you get into nature and you're around the vitality of the earth, you stay open to that, and that vitality will come into you too. And there's a soul recognition, I think, that's so critical when we are in beautiful places. If that's the forest, if that's a local park, if that's even your church. beautiful cathedral,
Or your
going to the
backyard.
ocean or the cliffs or your
Anywhere.
backyard. Yes.
Yes. Just
And
lay your belly to the earth and breathe. This is what you mentioned at the very beginning of this episode is vitality. Like desire is vitality, and we've talked about this on previous episodes where it's like what do you have eros for?
yeah.
What do you have drive for? What do you have desire for? What do you want to reach for? What in nature is repulsive to you and what in nature is intriguing and erotic to you. Pay attention to those things because that's going to bring so much more life force energy into your body. I was doing Qigong. I have to go into nature at least twice a day. Like it's
You
absolutely
do.
hands down must happen or I combust. Like I can't not. And so I was doing Qigong at the beach the other morning, which I do often. And it was just like, man, the birds, I was breathing with the birds and moving. And then the seal hopped up on this little thing and started doing yoga, seal yoga. And then the dolphins started swimming by. And I almost just took all my clothes off and got in the water and swam with the dolphins. But I had a
No.
thing, I had to get to the next thing. So I was just like, okay, can't go swimming with the dolphins. But even just being in the presence with those dolphins and those animals and just all the sea creatures and breathing with the
It's
tide.
magic. It's
Ah,
healing.
that is
Yeah.
desire to me. I mean,
Totally.
erotic desire, nature.
Yeah, I've always been enthralled by flowers. I have fresh flowers in my house all the time. And so for me, a symbol of desirability is really watching like the nature of flowers and watching a flower come from being closed to full bloom and like finding that essence within myself that I'm always becoming. And so that's a beautiful symbol to have in your space. For me, that's a symbol that can remind me of a touch point that I want to return to. And I think this is also really important. We talked about vitality. Another thing is when you are in your genius zone, you are the most attractive. When you're doing something that you're really good at, you glow. Your posture changes. Your face softens. There is something so magical about watching someone when they're really in their element. Whether that is watching someone with their kids or watching someone give a talk or watching someone sing a song or watching someone dance or watching someone cook, watching someone teach, watching someone play with their hobbies. We're filled with admiration when we see people in their genius zone and they become very attractive to us and magnetic. We need to tell people about how attractive and beautiful and special they are when we witness them in that so that they can have the gift that they're giving us when we're
That's
watching them.
good. Yes, that's a really, really good point. Yeah, to verbally say something. I had that experience the other day. I was dancing outside in the sunshine to reggae music. Talk about being in my element,
Yeah.
and the sun was shining. And it was just like this little Earth Day festival around the corner. It was so cute. And yeah, I could feel the appreciation. And then I had one person come up to me and be like, "You are an amazing dancer." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, thank you. Appreciation." So it's like, this is
Yeah.
another piece of like, creating more desirability is appreciating each other for those moments when you're in your highest, genius zone. I like that terminology, when you're in your highest state, which even could be sleeping. Like, you don't even have to be doing anything, but like, if you think your partner is really beautiful when they're sleeping, fucking let them know, they don't have to be doing
Yeah.
anything. Or when they're in the kitchen cooking, or the way they put the kids to bed, or whatever. Like, just let people know, appreciate them, and your connection and desire for them will appreciate. It will grow.
And then I think the hard conversation to have is to be really vulnerable and not from a place of like, you're setting up someone for some sort of test that they have to get right. But it's actually from a much softer, more vulnerable place. It's, what do you love about me? What do you desire about me? What are you most attracted to? To be able to have that kind of conversation with your partner, to go, I've been feeling kind of lonely and I want us to turn towards each other. And I need to be reminded as to why you love me and what you love about me. And here's what I love about you. And here's what I'm attracted to with you. And here's what's changed. Like when I first met you, what really pulled me in was, and now what really pulls me in is. And find out, are they the same things? Have they changed? Is it possible that you can return to the thing that first attracted the two of you? What would it be like to feel that again and to hold that in your body again? Because, being in a relationship for a long time, we lose ourselves sometimes. We forget who we are. And I'll tell you, research-wise, according to Esther Perel, the number one reason people have affairs is not because they don't desire their spouse anymore or their partner. The reason why they have an affair is because they're getting in touch with a part of themselves they have lost touch with. Mm-hmm. And when we don't feel like our partner is attracted to us or desires us, there's a deep need to feel that. And so suddenly, if we notice someone else seems to think we're cool and attractive, we want to lean into that because it brings us back to something inside. And so I think that's a garden we need to tend to in our relationships, is to remember that we need to call that forth in each other. The parts that have gone asleep because we've gotten into a routine. If we aren't doing that for each other, someone else might.
Totally. Someone else probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is so crucial. Now, if you want to take it to a higher level and you want to start practicing a little bit more erotic play and like playing with some games and some turn on games, there are some really great card decks out there on the market. So it can be fun to like grab one of those and do, pull a card every day.
Great idea.
Like, let's do something different together, because one of the reasons I think we lose eros for each other is because we do the same thing all the time, but it's like, it's erotic when you step into a different role or you get into a different position or you play an objectification game or, you tell me to bend over and do this thing. And then I tell you to do this and I tell you what I like about it. Now, a lot of people are going to be really shy doing these kinds of things, especially when you've been in a long-term relationship because you've never done these things before.
It feels a little risky.
It feels super shy and embarrassing at first. But hey, guess what? You're going to be laughing about it and you're going to be doing something different and you're going to have more vitality and effervescence moving through your body. So you just, if you do the same thing you've always done, you're going to get the same result. So this is an invitation to you all to just do something you've never done before. And that could even be like going out, parking at the beach and having sex in your car. Something, anything.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Making out on a bench,
Yeah.
I think I really like that you said the word laughing because when we don't feel desirable, it's like we're not living really happy.
Playing.
Yeah, our disposition can be really, hopelessness is a really heavy energetic,
Oh, God.
And so we gotta like lighten up. Like people are their most beautiful when they're joyful and when they have lots of reasons to be smiling and laughing. And so you gotta find that within yourself because that's what draws people in. A scowl does not draw people in. A resting bitch face does not make for a lot of attraction.
It's repelling.
It's very repelling.
Makes you want to move away from that person for sure. Yeah. And it can be so hard to change your state when you're just stuck in that place. And, it's like, how do I get out of this rut that I'm in? How can I move into a place of joy, into a place of gratitude and appreciation when I don't have the money I need to pay the bills, the kids are driving me crazy, my partner won't touch me or look at me. It's like, it can feel like you're just underwater. So here's what I would say is in order to change your state, change your element. So if you're kind of like always on the screens, go out in nature. If you're somebody who does work out in the world and out in nature, then, maybe you need to get in water. Maybe you need to get in the woods. Maybe you need to get into some other element, maybe you need to do some breath work, bring in some air element. Maybe you need to go take a half day spa day or something, whatever it is, to just change your environment, change your element so that you can reset. Sometimes we just need a pattern interrupt. And even a half day pattern interrupt can go a long, long way. Of course, if you can come to one of our weekend retreats, then of course that's going to be a better pattern interrupt for you. But if not, then, do what you can. Find it where you
A
can
lot
find
of
it.
little things add up. So it's like if you just make like a 1 to 2% change, like you change your route on the way to work, you put lipstick on, you do something that is a deviation from the ordinary, you will start to make big steps out of the loneliness or the what's the word? The place of stuckness that you find yourself in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, like with AI these days, there is no reason to not generate some
Tons
kind
of ideas.
juiciness or some kind of idea. Even like, I want to send my husband a sext, but I have no idea what to say. Can you give me an idea? Like you can use chat for all kinds of fun things like that. There's no excuses at this point to not start planting more seeds of desire within your life. I mean, desire driven life. And I got to tell you, I've also been doing a Course in Miracles every morning, and it's all about like, everything you see and all the meaning that you make of the world around you is coming from inside of you. So make a choice. What meaning do you want to make? Take a closer look at what you are creating from inside of yourself. The world isn't being created outside of you. It's created from inside.
Yeah, having that personal agency to not wait for, again, these external validations, but for you to go and take charge and go, I am going to fight for this. I'm going to fight out of loneliness. I am going to dance out of loneliness. I am going to go do things that take me out of this despair. And we're not here to make it sound like it's easy.
No,
It's not.
it's
So
not.
much of this feels so depressive. And when we are experiencing depression like this, we feel pressed down. Like there's a weight that we have to somehow grapple and get the energy to move up off of us. And that takes a minute to sort out. So get a therapist. Be on an antidepressant for a short time if that might work for you. Do the things you need to do so that you can find that radiance again. And the radiance, you guys, it's not, and this is a reminder for all of us, it's not what's on the outside. Radiance is something that comes from the inside. And it's why there are times, and I'm sure you've all experienced this, where someone who you didn't find attractive when you first met them, but you got to know them, and you're like, God, you are so adorable. You are so cute. You are so attractive. I'm compelled to turn towards you because they're radiant, because they are attractive, because who they are, their essence shines from the inside out. And so another thing you can do, which is such a beautiful act of love in the world, is to look for that radiance in people that you encounter, and reflect that back to them so that all of us can live and bask in that light. When we choose to put our attention on that, we get to experience it more in others.
Absolutely. This is reminding me too of a little moment I had the other day. I was picking up some surf rocks, and this guy, he was clearly married and had the whole family in the house and the kids and the da 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 da. I didn't give a shit. I was like, his eyes were striking. Like they were just the coolest shade of hazel green, whatever. I don't know. They were cool eyes, So I just said I wasn't flirting with him. I was just like, you have the coolest eyes. And it was just that, okay, see you later, and it wasn't a big deal. And
Yeah.
there's so many times when we hold ourselves back from those kind of opportunities because we think, oh, it's inappropriate. They're going to think I'm flirting with them. We hold back our appreciation for each other for so many reasons. And it's a missed opportunity to spread more vitality through the world.
Yeah, it sure is. So, any parting words you want to say?
Find your way to a desire-driven life, however you need to. Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah, like how can you breathe more desire into your relationship with yourself and with other? I think too, what it can be tricky is it's not about performing confidence, but sometimes it is. Sometimes there's this
Fake it
bridge.
till you make it sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta like, especially in the beginning when you don't believe it. I remember when I was really trying to come into more of my desirability and to see myself the way I knew the world was seeing me, but when I looked in the mirror, I couldn't see it. I had to like say the things I didn't believe over and over and over again to myself until I was like, oh, it's true. You know, it was like when I said the things I didn't think anyone else could see to myself, like in the mirror or internally, I said it enough and it started to get reflected to me externally too.
Cool.
It was like, it's such a thing. Like you really do need to try some things on over and over and over again. And in the beginning, you're going to have a voice that goes, that's bullshit. I don't believe that. That's a crock of shit. That's a lie. You know, you got to figure out a way to turn the volume down on that.
Yeah.
On that mean voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it. Pretend like you're desirable until you start to see that you are.
Yeah.
I have had to fake it till I made it so many times in my life, and especially in my career, especially teaching sexuality work and, you know, just being a leader and being in front of big classrooms full of people. And it works. That's a good trick.
Yeah. And this isn't about like making it harder.
No.
I think that the key here, it's not about trying harder. It's about pattern interrupting.
Yeah.
It's noticing the parts of you that is doing the same old thing, that's keeping the state of hopelessness or unlovability in the mind and going, I got to create a pattern that stops that record spinning on loop.
Yeah. So the invitation is to change. Change in the littlest ways, change in the biggest ways, change every day. Change.
Yeah. And sometimes all that changes is a mindset. It's not even having to do with anything physical.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Love, love, love.
Ciao, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in. This episode was hosted by Tantric Sex Master Coach and Positive Psychology Facilitator Leah Piper, as well as by Chinese and Functional Medicine Doctor and Taoist Sexology Teacher Dr. Willow Brown. Don't forget, your comments, likes, subscribes, and suggestions matter. Let's realize this new world together.